Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be doing a video on sound wave, the video that was pending for a long time. So for that we're going to start with the example. So right now you can see that there's a speaker in my screen. That there's a speaker in the screen. So you're gonna see the speaker move right now. So when you see the speaker move, it does a back and forth motion. So this is right now doing a back and forth motion, but sometimes when you see the speaker you don't see it move that back and forth. It's not really, we think it's not moving, but it is moving. So when the speaker moves, it is creating sound waves which reach our ear, and then we can hear it. So the back and forth motion causes sound wave. So for now let's look at the basics of sound wave. Okay, so sound is a vibration which propagates with an acoustic wave through a transmission medium which can either be solid, liquid, and gas. So sound can sound is a vibration, a little bit of a movement back and forth, which can spread and promote with an acoustic wave through a transmission medium, which can either be solid, liquid, and gas. So transmission medium, something which delivers the thing to the source. The medium is the only matter which can support the sound wave. In human physiology, sound is a reception of sound waves according to the perception of the brain. So, in order to the human physiology, sound is only the reception of such waves. We are talking about sound wave right now. The sound wave, which is the reception of sound wave from the brain. So, this is sound, the reception of the wave that the brain can take. And acoustic waves that have frequencies lying between 20 Hz and 20 kHz audio frequency range elect an auditory perspective in humans. So the acoustic waves that have frequencies lying between 20 Hz and 20 kHz can only be heard by humans. So you can't really hear what is either above 20 kHz or below 20 Hz. In the air, atmospheric pressure represents sound wave with wavelengths of 17 meters 56 feet to 1.17 centimeter. 1.7 centimeter. So the wavelength in the atmosphere of the sound wave is 17 meters but 56 feet till 1.7 centimeter. The sound wave more than 20 kilohertz is ultrasound, which humans cannot hear. So 20 kilohertz plus is ultrasound, not audible, and minus 20 is infrasound, which only different animal species can hear, as different animal species can have different hearing ranges. So now let's go to the acoustics. Acoustics is the interdisciplinary science which deals with mechanical waves in all forms of matter, solids, water, and gas. These includes vibration, sound, ultrasound, and infrasound. So, acoustic is the interdisciplinary science which deal with the mechanical waves which can go in all forms of matter, solids, water, and gas. Solids, liquid, and gas. But this is not just solid, liquid, and gas. It can include vibration, sound, and ultrasound with infrasound. So the scientist who works in the field of acoustics is known as a acoustical. Someone working in the field of acoustical engineering is known as a acoustical engineer. So the apps of these acoustics are found in almost all aspects of modern society. Subdisciplines, aeroacoustics, audio signal processing, bioacoustics, electroacoustics, environmental noise, music acoustics, noise control, physical acoustics, speech, ultrasound, water, underwater acoustics, and vibration. So these are all the types of acoustics that are present. So out of curiosity, we measured, actually me and my father measured the hearing range of me, my father, and my mother. So you might be seeing here 10423 hertz, which is my mother's, and and my father's 13463 hertz, and me 16329 hertz. So you might be asking, guessing, why is there this blank space in my mom? It's because she has a ear which has a hole in it, so which can really decrease the wave of sound which is getting to the brain. So now we can go to the definition. The movement back and forth in pressure, stress, and particle displacement that spreads and promotes through a medium with its internal force. So the movement back and forth which has pressure in it with the stress and the particle displacement that spreads and promotes or propagates. So propagates through a medium. So if you're confused what a medium is, it's the thing around it. It can either be solids, liquid, or gas. The most common one is gas. So which has to propagate with its internal force through the medium. If you don't know what propagates is, it's spread and promotes. So if you want the example, so it's an elastic also. So the elastic, when it's pulled, it comes together with its own internal force. So and at the such time, the action of placing things on top of another, which so that they collide against each other with the movement of back and forth. Auditory sensation brought or recalled in a movement of back and forth described in. So is the auditory sensation brought or recalled with a movement which is back and forth. So it can be described in two ways. So one, sound can be viewed as a wave of motion in any air, any other elastic media. In this case, sound is stimulus. So in one case, sound can be viewed as a wave or motion in the air. So sound wave is the wave which goes through the air, and this can also be viewed as sound. Then any other motion in the air. So sometimes when we are really making something go fast, we hear a whoosh sound. That is also a sound wave. Not just that, but also some elastic media. So with this case, the sound is stimulus. Sound can be viewed as energy of hearing that darkens as a result of perception as a sensation of sound. Sound can be viewed as energy. So sound is also energy of hearing that darkens as a result of perception and as the sensation of sound. So now we can go to physics of sound. Sound can spread through a medium such as air, water, and solid as a longitudinal wave and transverse wave through solids. The sound wave is generated by a sound source such as a vibrating diaphragm, such as a stereo speaker. This sound source creates vibration in the medium around. So sound spreads through a medium. And the medium can be air, liquid, or solid. It's not just air, any gas, any liquid, and any solid. Both longitudinal and transverse waves through solids. The sound wave is generated by a sound source such as a vibrating diaphragm, such as a speaker or a stereo speaker. So the sound needs to be vibrated and it's generated by the speaker, a stereo speaker. So you might be confused, how can something just be moving like that create sound? So as I showed you in the example, the speaker was moving back and forth. The back and forth causes movement, it causes movement in the air, which causes the sound to be created. And that sound is what we are hearing right now. So if you want some more examples of this, right now you're hearing to my voice. There is a speaker in your laptop or mobile. It can be anything. You're hearing it through that thing. Right now I'm speaking. If you're right in front of me, I'm generating the waves by myself. And then you can hear me. So this sound source creates a vibration in the medium around. So there has to be a medium around for it to vibrate. If there is no medium, there will be no sound. It has to vibrate in something. The vibration spreads from the source at the speed of sound. This forms a wave with a fixed distance. That all varies upon the pressure, velocity, and displacement, which vary in space and source. So, the vibration, when it spreads from the medium, it goes at the speed of sound. So, this can determine a fixed distance, but that varies upon the pressure, velocity, and the displacement. And then these vary upon the space and then the source. Particles in the medium don't travel with the sound wave. This is either consciousness or obvious, same with liquid and gases. Sound won't travel with sound wave or liquid and gases. This is either consciousness or obvious. So this is what the line above is trying to tell. Vibration of particles in gas or liquid transport vibrations, transport vibrations. So vibration in liquid or gas transport the vibration. Average position of particles don't change. So really the position will not change of the vibration. During spreading, the waves can be reflected, refracted, or reduced in force and value, attenuated by the medium. So while spreading, the waves can be reflected back to them and refracted, which means at a certain angle it's bounced back and then reduced in force of value. For the short form of this, it's attenuated. So this all happens by the medium. But sound can be affected in three more ways. The complex relationships between density and pressure of the medium. The relationship is affected by temperature, determining speed of sound within the medium. So the relationship can be affected by the temperature outside and then speed of sound within medium. The motion in the medium itself. If the medium is moving, the movement might increase or decrease the absolute speed of sound wave depending on direction of movement. So when the movement is medium is moving, it moves back and forth. But sometimes this creates some increase or decrease. How this happens is the direction of the movement. Let's say the speaker is moving from this side. The sound is going from that side. But then there is a harsh wind blowing there. This will reduce the sound. And at the same place, if you turn the speaker around and then play it, you will have a less impact of sound and a bit more louder, since there is not a lot of things to stop the cone from moving a lot. So the more the thing moves in the air, the larger the sound will be. So the thickness of the medium now. Medium thickness determines the rate in which sound is reduced in force, effect, or value. For many media such as air and water, attenuation due to viscosity and it's negligible. The thickness of the medium. So sound can be determined of how thick the medium is. If the air is thicker, it will have trouble. Thinner, it will be easier. And then it also determines the rate in which sound is reduced, the thickness of the medium. So it can be reduced in force, effect, or the value itself. And this is the same for many values such as air and water attenuation, which is due to viscosity, and viscosity is negligible. When sound is moving through a medium that does not have a constant physical properties, it may be refracted, depressed, or focused. So if sound is moving with a medium that does not have a constant, then physical properties, it may be refracted, bounced off at a different angle, then depressed or too focused, which determines the medium if it has a constant or physical. If it does not have, it might be refracted, depressed, or focused. Mechanical vibrations can be performed. Sound can travel through all forms of matter: solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. So, matter that supports the sound is the medium. Sound can travel only with a medium. It can't travel through a vacuum. We have something pulling it, then the sound is going like this. It gets sucked in. It cannot travel through it. So if you have a vacuum, the sound will disappear right in this exact place. It will not be able to go further. So now we have longitudinal and transverse waves. Sound can be transmitted through gases, liquid, and plasma as longitudinal waves, also called compression waves. So longitudinal waves are also known as compression waves, and it can be transmitted through all forms of matter. I mean only three forms of matter in this case for longitudinal waves: gases, liquid, and plasma. So of course it will require a medium to spread. But if there is a solid in the middle, the sound wave can be transported as both longitudinal and transverse wave. Longitudinal waves are made of alternating pressure deviations from the state of physical balance pressure, causing local regions of compression. So it is made of alternating pressure, which is a changing pressure of the deviations, and the state of physical balance pressure, which causes the local regions of compression. So that is how the longitudinal waves are made, and also refraction, while in transverse waves they are made of alternating shear stress at right angle to the direction of promotion. So these are made up of changing shear stress which goes to the right angle of the direction of promotion. Sound may be viewed as parabolic mirrors and objects that can produce sound. So sound can be viewed in a parabolic mirror. So if you don't exactly know what a parabolic mirror is, you might have seen some satellite TVs. Then there is this around it. So that is a parabolic surface that can be used to make sound. Longitudinal waves and transverse waves, part 2. Energy carried by oscillating sound waves which converts back and forth movement to potential energy of extra compression. In this case, longitudinal waves or lateral displacement. In case of longitudinal wave of matter and kinetic energy of the displacement velocity of the particles in the medium. So it's the energy which is also carried by the oscillating sound wave, then which converts back and forth movement between the potential energy which has extra compression. For this case, longitudinal waves or lateral displacement in case of longitudinal waves of matter and kinetic energy of the displacement. So whatever happens in this goes to displacement, velocity, and then the particles of the medium. So for part 1 we will be doing this much. So you might be wondering, why did I just do part 1 for this one? Well, it's cause the report is a bit too long. So do remember to subscribe and press the notification bell and do comment about how this video was. So for now, meet you in the part 2. Bye bye.